definitely start, right? Everyone just tell me tomorrow we will definitely start real-time scenario.
So tomorrow we will start with the first this
There
multi
is the
web.
one introduction part also. You can everyone see this introduction. Okay, because in introduction part there are some stories there. Like one company owner wants to start the company, how DevOps tools help him to improve his business. Developer makes the code. After that, there are some what is waterfall method, what is agile method.
Is it agile methodology?
There are methods, waterfall and agile.
Is it
Waterfall,
is it agile methodology?
agile methodology. Actually, I'm telling you that waterfall is the old. Okay,
Yeah.
agile right now they are using. If you want.
Nowadays they are using agile methodology. I think so.
Yes, yes, you are correct. Agile methodology, because waterfall is the old. At that time, actually, it will take so much times. Okay, for any
Yeah, yeah.
work. So that's why they are choosing agile methodology. And right now, everyone is working on this. In future, I don't know what they are doing. If any new technology, new version, no one know what happened. Okay.
This is on premises, right?
Yes, yes. So today, which topic we can discuss? Anyone can tell me?
This is the first class.
Okay, your first class. So YouTube channel, actually YouTube link already shared. There are 7 classes link already uploaded. You just go and
Okay.
check every there. First 2 days we discuss on Jenkins. After 2 days in GitHub. Okay.
Okay.
So, oh, sorry for Git. Okay. So today I'm asking you guys that which topics we can discuss. Okay.
Ram, if you don't mind, can we start with the first project itself? Like you show us the demo, how the class will go ahead, and how we should be practicing and all those things. Means initial demo, if you are able to show us, it would be helpful for all of us. Because
Ram, can we start with Docker? I think
Yeah.
after Docker,
Actually, it's a correct
yeah,
idea.
Okay, because I
actually, if it is
also not
Docker,
want
then
to. I want to start with you guys real time. I don't want to start with
okay,
me. Okay, so Ankit, if
Mo-
you, yes, today we'll discuss in Docker, but
yeah.
30 minutes we will take every day for Q&A session. Okay, after 30 minutes we will start the real time scenario. That's correct, right?
okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
That is a really good idea.
30
Yeah,
minutes, and you also have to share your ideas also, that what we can do, because this is a like community type now, we all we can share, and no one is a so much experience. I am also your type, not a so much experienced guy. Okay, so you can also share anything what you have a knowledge. Okay, you also share that how can we do this anything. Okay, so no problem. And I
Ram.
just want to tell you that you have to share the screen and you do yourself. We all are here to help you. Okay, if you are
Yeah.
facing any problem, we will help you. And
Nowadays,
also,
most of yeah, yeah.
one more thing
Yeah.
I'm telling you, that if you're any friend who need job support like this, tell him to join there and they can share the task. We will try to how to make this. That will also help for you, that you can see real time projects. Okay, and
Ram.
they
Ram,
Hello.
hmm,
yeah,
Just
I'm
hold on.
just wanted to say one thing.
hmm.
Actually, before we start Docker, I have one project, small project kind of thing. So
Mhm,
it's a MongoDB cluster, and
mhm,
for that, it has a one primary node and two secondary node,
mhm.
and for that, I need to write an Ansible script.
Okay.
Okay,
Mhm.
so I am stuck on it, and I need some help. If anyone can help
Deepika, I
me.
think I have shared some links to you. Uh,
Yeah,
uh,
yeah. You have shared me that link, but in that one, it's working on Ansible Tower, and
So you can
I don't
share
have
the
okay,
any
okay,
idea
screen.
no
about
issue.
Ansible Tower.
So, just a minute. Can you share your script? Means what you have written right now. Means after that we can
No,
understand where you have stuck.
yeah. So problem is that I'm very new in Ansible. Just I learn it. What is the Ansible and what are the things required
Then
for configuration and
my
all.
first, yeah. My first question is, have you installed MongoDB on your any virtual machine?
So I have tried to install a MongoDB on my AWS EC2 instance. So what I have
Mm-hmm.
done, I have created three instances, one for the primary and two for the secondary. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So what code I got it from my one of my colleagues. So I have stuck somewhere in that to
No,
installation
no, no.
for
I'm
that
just
one.
asking you manual installation, not through the script. Have you installed MongoDB means
No,
manually?
no. Actually, problem is that
That's why.
she asked. Yeah, I
Like,
just wanted to
yeah.
say my problem.
Mhm.
What she said, you just install this MongoDB on your that AWS environment, and
Mhm.
write your own script and run it. If it is working properly, then give me that script. I will run on the real time that environment. Correct. So
No,
for
no, no. I'm just asking this
yeah,
question because if you don't know how to install it manually, then you will not able to write the script
yeah,
That's true.
because you don't know the
yeah, yeah.
parameters,
But
right?
yes, yes. Yeah,
First thing you have to install it manually.
correct, correct. Whatever you say, I got it. But problem is that for me, I'm not able to understand how does it work. See, that MongoDB also there is a one main node, that one is primary and two is secondary. Correct. And for Ansible
Yes.
also the same thing. So I'm
No,
not
no, no, no.
able
The
to.
both are not same. Understand first. Have you installed single MongoDB means on single instance, not primary, secondary? Forget about the cluster. Firstly, you have to install
Okay.
MongoDB on your
Huh.
virtual machine. After that, you
Okay.
understand what are the parameters required for that. Okay. Once you succeed in MongoDB manual installation, then you can try for cluster installation. Okay, it's a
Okay.
step by step approach. If you don't know the manual installation, you cannot write a script. Understand?
Yeah, that is true. And because they are not bothered about anything, it's your my problem to learn and do it. So
And also,
she has
one thing
given,
I
yeah,
Yeah,
that
yeah.
my colleague, she has given me that all installation process and everything. But problem is that I'm not able to do that.
Yeah, that's one thing I was gonna ask. If you have all the steps, just go through that by read carefully because they mentioned that they have like variables needs to be changed or something like that, you know. So you have to go carefully and read where the things needs to be changed. For example, you know the stuff. Then you
Okay.
can you cannot just like take and run everything, you know, because it's
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
somebody's
I got.
script and you know there's like variables
Okay,
names
okay.
need to be
Deepika, do one thing. Means whatever the documentation your colleague has shared,
Hmm.
share it with Ram or with me,
Hmm.
so that
Hmm.
means because everyone shouldn't aware about the tool every tools, right? So there is a
Okay.
means we can check it, and after
Hmm.
that we can let you know that where is the problem you are facing.
And
Okay. Yeah.
one more thing, guys, like if you want to share something, then you have to do one thing because sometimes what happen in group some scammer also join. So that's why we are not allowing to share the photos and this thing. Otherwise, they sharing
Yeah,
business.
actually, it's a officially document, so I can't share on
yeah,
public
don't share
That's
the,
why.
domain.
the
That
only
is the
thing is
problem.
yeah, the only thing is you can remove this stuff and you more do the more
No, you
generic
also
thing.
in the group. If you can see these types are happening, anyone sharing like we provide job support, we provide training things, then you can tell me. I will remove them because sometimes if I'm not available, you can see what they are messaging. Okay, so that this time
No,
we can
Ram,
remove them.
it's really hard now to who is Ram, who is spam, who is not in this group,
No,
right?
because
But
before
I would
sometimes ago there are one messages like I am providing proxy. At that time I removed them.
oh, okay, yeah,
You can
for
share
I
that
mean,
what is the hiring process. You can share, no problem. But for business purpose, don't share.
yeah, don't share the
So
business
otherwise,
files or the
if you can
documents.
do this for me, that if you are checking that any spammer, you can tell me. I will remove her. Then I will allow to everyone to catch. You can share the your medias like photos, whatever you want. Okay. I think everyone got my point.
Yeah, Ram.
Yes.
Hmm. Okay. So you just carry on whatever you ask. So
Yeah, so I have one point to add for Deepika's question. See, in our environment also, we are doing the Ansible automation. Like we had this tools like cloud orchestrations tool, which we used to do for provisioning. But we are now trying to do Ansible automation. So what I'll do is, Deepika, I'll share some standards which we follow to implement the Ansible automation in our projects. And hopefully I think it's very useful, and I think it'll help you to begin how you can start with your journey in creating the playbooks, and how you have to declare the variables and everything. So I think it would be helpful for you. So I'll just share a
Thanks.
small
Thanks.
yeah, small steps, so that maybe it would be useful for you.
Okay. So, any doubts?
Hi guys, I'm new to this group.
Mm-hmm.
I want to know the details why we are joined in this meeting.
Okay, you don't know. No? Actually, this is the meeting where we can discuss about the only interview preparation, discussion, whatever you have a task you can share, and real-time project scenario. And this is everything there is free, and they all are developers. There are some fresher. They all we are helping to each other to placements and survive for jobs also. Okay,
Yeah, okay.
so that's why.
Yeah, I heard that. Yeah, I have completed my training session of Azure DevOps,
Mm-hmm.
but most of in companies they are asking for Docker and Kubernetes.
Yeah, and
Okay.
Sally scripting
Yeah,
also they are
Uh,
asking.
yeah,
yeah,
and
Ram.
Terraform.
Mhm.
Yeah, right. He just means Akhila, no issue. Means we will cover each tool step by step. Okay. As
Yeah,
like they said, means on the means previously we have covered Jenkins. So I think I have shared a picture. Just a minute. Let me present the screen.
Jenkins based on AWS or Azure, Microsoft Azure.
As on premises.
Yeah, I know on premises on AWS or Azure, Microsoft Azure. I'm asking the differentiation that which you shared
Uh,
that
this will means I will share means we have installed
Azure
complete
DevOps and AWS DevOps both will be there and GCP will be there. So I have trained
GCP.
for
These are cloud platforms, and
yeah,
there is also private cloud platform. Okay, in which
yeah, yeah,
all the tools and servers are installed on premises. Okay,
yeah.
so there are
But
three parts. One is means there are two parts. One is cloud DevOps, and second is on-premises DevOps. And there is
yeah,
a third part is also there, which will be the hybrid, in which
yeah, yeah,
we can use portfolio management on any cloud DevOps, and the CI/CD pipeline on premises. Okay, so there
okay.
will be three ways. So I'm just presenting means I have shared a snapshot. If you remember, sorry you are the new, but rest are the means know about that. Just give me a second. Let me share, and I will let you know.
चलो चले
Akhila,
Okay.
Jenkins is just a tool. You can use it on AWS,
Yeah,
on
I know that
premise,
it is a
and Azure.
tool, but in Azure DevOps they are not mentioned about Jenkins. They told about Docker and Kubernetes. I just overviewed that. I
Ankila,
don't know.
Akila, every
Yeah.
every tool
Ankila.
is present there. Means I
In
have I'm also using Azure DevOps.
In Microsoft Azure DevOps, only GitHub is the main tool they are telling. Apart
yeah,
from that,
in the
all of third-party
No,
tools
no,
they
no.
are
I
saying.
think then you got the wrong information. That's the thing. Now,
Yeah,
see, it's based on requirement to requirement. Okay.
yeah, yeah.
Okay. GitHub is a versioning control. So GitHub is there.
Version control system.
Lab
Yeah,
is there. So Jenkins is the CI/CD tool. So it depends on your requirement.
Yeah, they didn't say about
So
Jenkins.
then I think you
So
did
that's
some
why I
false
asked a
resume.
differentiation of AWS or Azure DevOps. That's why I asked like,
No, there is no difference such. There's no such
yeah,
difference. The few functionality are different.
yeah, yeah.
Azure having some functionality like Kanban board, all that.
Configuration integration
Yes,
that will
yeah.
be different.
So few
Yeah,
things
I
is
think.
different. That's it.
Can I
Otherwise,
say
everything
Okay,
is
one?
okay.
same.
Can I say something about it?
Oh, yeah,
Yeah, Ankit,
go on.
Ankila, I think when you use the DevOps, Azure DevOps, Azure DevOps, Azure DevOps itself does the same thing that Jenkins do. You know, so you don't have to use the Jenkins. You can use the just Azure DevOps. Azure DevOps has the CI/CD pipeline feature inside in the Azure DevOps, so you don't have to use the Jenkins to trigger to build your like a continuous integration. That's the reason they didn't mention you the Jenkins.
Okay,
You got it?
Even
In
one more
Azure DevOps,
difference is there. You talk about the microservices and the monolithic. So that is also one difference. If entire module is there, so we can use Jenkins. If we need to separate module, like some admin separate module, report
yeah,
separate
yeah,
module, then we can use a Docker Kubernetes. So this is one of
yeah.
the basic difference.
Okay, okay. Thank you, Vivek.
Please check chat box.
What is the meaning of monolithic heterogeneous?
It's based on entire like one project, entire everything will be there. Microservices, it will be different. Like they are going to
Okay. Hello.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Please carry
So
on.
as like I told you, first step is our code push. So once a developer push the codes, automatically it will trigger to Jenkins. Okay. Once Jenkins receive triggering, then it will do first source code management checkout. It will go to the your Git or any Azure repo or Bitbucket directory. It pull out that code to the Jenkins workspace. If it is failure, then it will send an email to that person who's in mail ID you have mentioned. Okay. If it is succeed, then it will move to next stage. Here is Maven build. You have pull a code, then now it's time to build and compile and building. Okay. So it will just use this Maven clean package. It will automatically build that code. Okay. And it is a script I have used for variable. Whenever any developer commit, there will be a commit ID. It will fetch that commit ID and stored in a tag. Okay, and stored in a tag. Okay, so this tag I will use as so once
Each developer.
yeah, for each developer commit will be different, then image name will be different. I will show you how. So once as like my image build is there, if it is failed, then it will send an email notification, and the developer will check the code and commit again. Okay. Next is Sonar Cube analysis. Okay, so here is a Sonar server. With Sonar Cube environment, you have to give that Sonar Cube server name, which you have integrate with your Jenkins. You have mentioned that name in the Sonar Jenkins. That is, it is a Sonar Cube. Okay, that name you should write in the script so that it will identify this is the Sonar server. Okay, and after that, this command will run and it will do code analysis. That is code quality analysis. On that basis, it will check out code coverage, how many bugs is there, how many code smells is there. Everything it will check out and tell you what is the actual code quality. Okay, so if it is failure, then it will again send that mail as I have mentioned in that picture. Okay. Next will be the Nexus artifact upload. So here, once you have done the code analysis, so after compiling and building by Maven, there will be a var or jar file in Jenkins workspace. Okay, that will be means directory of Jenkins, that is workspace in which your job name. Then in the job name there will be a target folder in which you will receive your any application name. Okay, so Nexus artifact upload will upload your var and jar file in your Nexus repository, and if it is got failed, then again it will send the mail to the developer and the project manager. You have to mention mail ID 1 or 2 or 3, that how many person you have required in this mail, so you can mention the mail ID of all that persons. Okay, now there will be a Docker build image building. Okay, so here is the point that I'm using tag will be using as a variable, so
Names and
each time
values.
each value will be, each image name will be different from each other. Once you are upload that image to Docker Hub, then you can easily pull out that image. Okay, so there will be no conflict regarding the Docker image, even creating the image, even pushing the image, even pulling the image. Here we will push the image to the Docker Hub. Okay, so once you
I
have,
think
yes.
I have one question. I think after building that image, we will push that image to the next task, right?
No. This is Docker image. A war
Then why
file or
we are
jar file will
using next task?
just the war file or jar file created by Maven will be uploaded to Nexus.
Okay, okay,
Okay.
okay.
So yeah, it means there are lots of options in the Nexus. You can use Docker images, you can use Angular images, you can use means many applications is there, many means hosted. Okay, like Maven hosted, Gradle hosted is there. Docker hosted, Kubernetes hosted. So whatever repository you will create, that type of image you can push in Nexus repository.
Okay, means
Okay,
instead of
code will be
using
pushed
Docker,
to.
means
Sorry.
instead of using Docker Hub to push image, we can use Nexus as well.
Yes, but this is not means right approach to means complete push your complete image in Nexus repository, because you will install the Nexus repository on your local server, and which can be crashed. Okay, so you will lose all the images.
Okay, okay, and we can
Okay.
push that image. Means whatever image we have built, we can use ECR as well, right? Instead of Docker
Ra-
Hub.
yeah, means
It's
there
your
are lots
choice.
of. Yeah, there are lots of options. You can use Nexus repository. You can use Maven artifact, Azure artifact. You can use any your private registry where you want to push your images. Okay, it
Oh,
depends on your company's requirements and
oh,
company's laws or whatever they want. Okay,
okay.
so first you will log into Docker Hub. Then you will push that image. Now you just remember that this image will be created on Jenkins server. So after push the image, we have to remove that image from Jenkins server, so that there will be a means no space occupation will be there, because lots of images will be there. So it will be difficult to handle that, and it will also occupy the space storage. Okay. So if you clear means if this stage will succeed, then there will be no mail. If it is failure, then you will receive the mail. Now this is the app
Can you
deployment.
excuse me? Can you explain this again once again? This Docker push, Docker image push. Why we have to
Doc,
remove this?
just a minute.
Kumar, I think one thing I would like to add there is why we are cleaning up the workspaces in Jenkins is because assume you're running in the master Jenkins and you don't want to like for the next time when you run it, so it doesn't get conflicted. So there is
Ye-
no like a
No,
binaries
no,
over the file.
conflict will be not there. Means conflict is the another reason, because I have used commit ID. So commit ID always
Oh, I
different.
see.
So
I
there
see.
will be no conflict. But remember that you have this much storage in Jenkins server. Okay. Every time you are creating image, firstly it will store this. Then it will completely store this. Then you can use again this. This this will store this up to means you have stored 100 of images, then it will complete this means you are losing your storage capacity in Jenkins server. That's why we are removing the images, because we have already saved that images on Docker Hub. Okay, so whenever we require those images, we can just pull out those images from Docker Hub. So there will be no means lack of storage in Jenkins server.
So we are copying image from Jenkins to Docker Hub, or we are moving.
Means we are pushing. Pushing is just like a copy. Okay. So
Okay.
Docker push, once you using Docker push command, that will take a copy of your image and push to the Docker Hub. Okay. And there is another reason for that. Using that means pushing the image into a centralized server, because your Jenkins server and deployment server both are different. So it will be difficult to build the image or move the image from one server to another server. So we will during the deployment we will pull that image again, just like we have means firstly we have to delete the previous any container running, as like I have used job name as the container name. Okay, it's a variable which is predefined in Jenkins. Okay, because I'm using variable, everyone is working on different pipelines, so there will be no conflict on the container side as well. That both container has same name. Okay, so to remove this type of conflict, that if one container is running with container one name, then you can again cannot use container one as a name of another container. So to remove this conflict, I'm using a variable part because once we are creating a pipeline or job on Jenkins, we use the unique name for every job, right? So I'm using job name as a container name. Okay. And once anybody uh, run this pipeline, every time it will remove that container previously running and run new container with the same name so that there will be no conflict. And one more thing I am just telling you, I'm using the same image. It will be now pull out from the Docker Hub as like I have mentioned tag. It will pull that image from Docker Hub and deploy on your Docker container. Okay. After that, I have used this a Docker ps-f name to check on which port your Docker container is running. Means which port you have exposes to the external environment. Okay. If this stage will fail, then it will send the mail. If this stage will pass, then also it will send the mail. Because at last we have to receive at least one mail, whether it is succeed or failure. Okay. And in the mail ID, it will attach a log as well. Complete means complete pipeline log. It will be attached to the mail body, and you can check everything from that mail. Okay. So I think I have covered a complete thing, that is Maven, Sonar analysis, Nexus artifact, Docker image build, and Docker deployment. So is there any question right now?
For deployment, we use Kubernetes, right?
We can use both things. Means we can use Docker and we can use Kubernetes. If you are going for container orchestration tools, then you can use Kubernetes. If you are just using your means testing, you can use Docker and Kubernetes. Any one of them you can choose.
Okay.
It's a means requirement of your company. What means you cannot decide all the things yourself. If your company wants Kubernetes, then you have to deploy all the things on Kubernetes.
Can we use Docker Hub both for Docker images and jar war file?
No. Docker Hub is just for Docker images.
Ajay, can you explain SonarQube part once again?
SonarQube part is means you have to install your SonarQube on different machine. Okay. After that, you have to integrate that SonarQube with Jenkins.
So we have to mention the host name or something?
For the integration, for the integration, you have to give the IP of the SonarQube. After that, the credential of SonarQube. Okay.
So in that machine, there will be testing scripts available, right?
Testing scripts means predefined scripts will be there. And after that, your tester or your lead developer can set the parameters for each code.
Okay, so we are going to write any test scripts for this, right? So
no, we are not writing any. Means we will not write any test script. It's a part of tester.
Okay, got it. Thank you. Thanks, Ajay.
Yeah, there is.
We are just sorry.
There is a Jenkins plugin for the SonarQube, right? So you have to enable that, then put all the SonarQube server information there.
You are asking or you are telling me?
Means as a DevOps, we just integrate that SonarQube server with Jenkins, and testing the script and everything will be written by testers, right?
Yes, because Jyoti, if I ask you one question, if you are not from developer background, or if you don't know about the coding, because there are lots of codes, and that means there are lots of codes and within lots of languages like Angular, Java, C#. So how we can write the test script for each language, right?
Yes.
So that will be written by the tester or the means senior developer, whatever the means person will be available in your team.
Okay.
Can we skip the SonarQube part also?
Yeah, you can skip. Means it's up to your requirements. Means if you just want build and deploy, you can use build and deploy. If you just want build, upload, Nexus artifact upload and deploy, you can use this also. Okay. Even you can skip the build as well. You can just pull out means if you have only a Docker file or means Docker compose file. So you can just pull that Docker compose file to via SCM checkout, and you can directly deploy that Docker compose to your deployment server.
Here you have used this declarative pipeline, right? So
Right.
for same we can use a scripted pipeline also. How it will be used means for same scenario. If I wanted to use scripted pipeline, so how it will be used exactly?
In the as I have mentioned in the script, there will be steps. Okay. So in the scripted pipeline, it will start from the node, not from the pipeline syntax. It will start from the node. Okay. Then curly bracket start and close. In between these curly brackets, you have mentioned only stages, not steps. Each stages you have to mention. Okay.
Okay.
Means
Same stages, no means testing, building,
yes, same stages you
pushing.
can use. Same stages you can use.
Then what is the difference between these both that I am not able to understand?
Means in scripted and declarative pipeline.
Yes.
Firstly, it's scripted pipeline is your DSL, domain specific language. It means uh, journal way of writing the script only. Okay, and in the declarative pipeline, you are writing a script as a code. Okay, because it's having a proper syntax.
Okay.
That's why I always say means declarative scripted pipeline has more flexibility as compared to declarative pipeline.
Okay, scripted one has more flexible. Scripted
Right,
one is more flexible. Okay.
right. Because in the like let me explain. If you are defining any variable in the scripted pipeline, you have to just mention def, then the variable name and the value of that variable. Okay, just let me share again. Yeah. So if you are using scripted pipeline, you can just write node, then curly bracket start and close, enter. Here, if you are want to define any variable, then you can just mention def and port equal to. If you are writing any command, you just write that command netstat -tunlp. Okay, now it's your variable. You can use dollar port anywhere in your script. Okay, this is for scripted pipeline. But if you are using declarative pipeline, you have to write pipeline first, then close, and then you have to mention agent any, or if you are using specific agent, then you have mentioned environment. Okay, in which you have to use this. Now here you will define the variable def port equal to netstat -tunlp. So it's just like a code we are writing, because we are defining every thing in our
It is in
particular.
Groovy script. It is a
Right.
Groovy script. Okay.
It's a Groovy script. You can say it's properly following the Groovy language.
And scripted pipeline,
Is
what it follow?
it's also a Groovy script, but it's not a script as a code. It's just a journal script we are writing like in Bash scripting and in the Python scripting. It's follow the journal syntax. Okay, Means you are not binding anything in the, like I have binded the variable in environment. Okay, this is the syntax for the declarative. But in the scripted pipeline, I'm not binding the variable in any environment. I'm directly defining that. Okay,
Okay.
means you can
Means
understand.
in declarative we are means defining variables, and in scripted one we are not defining
No,
anything, like
means
that.
in the scripted, we are directly defining the variables as like defining in journal scripts. But in the declarative pipeline, we are defining the variable in environment uh, bindings. Okay, so it is just we can say, who's that? It's just a l- type of a code. As like in code we are means if we are defining anything, we have to firstly bind that thing in a particular syntax. After that we can define it.
Okay, okay.
That's why it's called script as a code. Declarative pipeline always called as script as a code, and scripted pipeline always called as DSL. Okay,
Okay,
so
In real time, we
it's
can
fine.
use whichever we like, right? Uh,
we can use any, means any of them.
okay.
It's up to you which in which you are comfortable.
Okay. Okay.
It's not on company rules, it's up to you, right?
Yeah, it's up to you. It means it's a script you can write. Means there are lots of ways of writing the script.
Okay. And if they means what is the difference exactly, if we will face this question in interview, means whatever you have explained, like that we have to explain, or major
Uh,
differences what we can explain in interview.
in the declarative pipeline and the scripted pipeline,
Scripted
right?
pipeline, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, means for the major differences, firstly you have to tell them that scripted pipeline is uh, DSL means domain specific language, language script, which are means we are writing as a script only, not a, it's not in a proper syntax like a code. Okay, and in the declarative pipeline we write a script as a code where in which all the scripts are bind in a pipeline syntax. Okay, in the scripted pipeline we have only stages. Okay,
Okay.
and there is no steps. But in the declarative pipeline, each stage have steps. You can define multiple steps in each stage. Okay,
Okay.
and in the scripted pipeline, you can means deploy your code and means on different nodes. Okay, you can use means the different nodes, but in
Hmm.
scripted pipeline you have to mention only one time. After that, it will be build or deploy. Everything will be done on the same node. Okay.
Okay, thank you, Ajay.
Ajay, do you have any example of the scripted pipeline, like you have shown declarative pipeline, if it is available with you?
Just a minute.
And can you share, Ajay, this example which you have explained us, that declarative one? Can you share with us in Telegram?
It means written in the means I have write that script for my company. Okay, so I cannot share that, but definitely I will make a script with which will be for general purpose. Okay,
Okay, okay, okay. Thank you.
because I have mentioned lots of things here. Okay,
Okay, okay, okay. Thank you.
and you have asked for
I
declarative
have a,
pipeline, right? Sorry,
I have
scripted pipeline.
Yeah.
Just
I
a
have a
minute.
question, Kumar, for you. I
Uh,
did.
yes, just a minute. I will tell you. Wait a minute. Let me share the screen again. Okay, so everyone can see my screen.
Yeah, it's visible.
Yeah, so it's a scripted pipeline in which you have just node. Okay, You are starting with your pipeline with Node. Then there will be, if you are defining any tool, these are the variable I'm using as Maven home, Maven CMD or tag. Okay. After that, there is no steps. Only stages are there. SCM checkout, then stage two, then stage three, then stage four, then stage five. Okay. No steps are there. But if I talk about this star, there is stages first. In the stages, there are multiple stages. Okay. So in the stage, there are steps. You can define multiple steps if you have, like I have defined two steps. First step is that, pull out that, and second step is the post step. Means after this step, you have to check whether it is fail or pass. If it is failure, then you can mention the send that mail. Okay. But in this, you can use directly the mail. It will check only the stage. There is no steps.
Okay, means end of the means after execution of full job, it will intimate to the developer or concerned person that it is
Yeah,
succeeded or failure.
yeah, you can define the in the last here that post is here post.
In
Then you can
in
just sorry.
in middle it won't tell like declarative. Each and every step it is intimating that
No, it's
failure.
up to you. No, it's up to you. You are when you are intimating the that's the main
In,
part. Okay.
okay, okay.
Means
In
the main
scripted also
difference
we
is
can.
yeah. In the scripted also we can do.
Okay.
So is it clear now?
Yes, yes.
Okay. Now any other question?
Yeah, I have a question.
Yes.
For the Docker image build,
Mm-hmm.
do you like build the image from scratch, or do you use the like a do you know the source to image like baseline some image and like
Yeah, means you have to use a baseline for the image first. Then you can use your configurations like I'm using any Java file, Java application or any Angular application or anything. Then you that can be used by means you have to define the first base image. Like for the Java application, OpenJDK is there, right?
yeah.
So then you have to means use OpenJDK base image in which you can define your ZAR file or Java file.
Override,
Okay,
right? That means you creating the new image from the base image and
right.
pushing to the
Yeah,
Docker.
because you required some means for every
Database.
image you required a platform, right, to run that
Yeah.
image. Like you are using any web portal, so there will be a image for that web portal which was created by the developer. So for to run that image, you need a web server. Okay, you can use Apache, you can use Nginx. Then you have to use a base image of Nginx or Apache server, and in its directory you have to copy that image the developer has built. After that, you can create build a new image from combining two images. You can build a new image which will run your application on web. Okay.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
So, is there anyone?
For Terraform, if beginner level, what they will ask questions for Terraform? If we have mentioned in our
Jyoti means you are mentioning the resume. Yeah,
yeah,
but
yeah,
means you are asking
I
for
don't.
Terraform. Means it's out of the syllabus, right? We are discussing here about the pipelines and Docker. Today's scenario is that if you miss you have any question out of the means box, then you can paste that question in the Telegram group. Okay, I'm sure you will receive the answer, right?
Okay,
Because there is means we can say there are some means discussion which are on, going on current topics. Understand? So it's difficult to switch from one topic to another topic immediately.
Okay, okay, okay. No problem.
You can share in the Telegram. Definitely will help you.
Okay, Ram. Okay, thank you.
So I have means tell you the practical scenario. Even I have shared means I show you my practical Jenkins pipeline which I have written and already deployed in my company. Okay, this is the whole practical project, and means even in any institute that means that level of understanding will not be provided.
I want some information like you are working on Docker and Jenkins pipelines.
No, no,
That's
no.
really
Means
good. I want to
mhm,
know. So because basically I'm working on my product is monolithic.
mhm,
So I'm a DevOps engineer at development side. I'm not working on the project side. I'm not a site
mhm,
reliability engineer. So my area is
mhm,
to build the image and
mhm,
ship into the services team. They will deploy the image
mhm,
outside. I don't know after
mhm,
that what they will do it. So, but
mhm,
still, we are giving all the instructions to them how they are doing and all. So that is a monolithic application what we are shipping into the customer side. So I want to know
mhm,
how the microservice will be dealt with Docker containerization because basically, like if you have web applications and
mhm,
you have connectivity between a web application using REST API or some APIs, and
mhm.
how you manage like microservices using Docker
Yeah,
or I don't
okay.
know about
Yeah,
infrastructure.
I can means understand your question. Let me tell you, like you have the application in which a front end part is there, then authentication part is there, then there
Yeah,
will be a backend part, and there will be a database part.
yeah.
So
For
your
example,
question is
there
how
might
you will
be
make a communication between them, right?
yeah there might be third party application also there. We may need to communicate with that using some
Right.
APIs.
So in this means scenario, every application means whether it is front end application means front end part, whether it is back end part or third party app. Okay,
Hmm.
every application will run on any port. Okay,
Yeah,
like my front end server will run on 8085, backend server will run on 8080, my database will run on 5432, right?
correct.
Right. So we will means expose those ports for external environment, and
Okay.
saying that means we will mention that there will be no IP, only the port number will be there. So IP, all IPs are allowed which are coming with this port number and with this username and password will be able to join or communicate with each other. Okay, so for the first part, if you have three parts, then you have to deploy all three application on container on same network. Means you have to create a separate network for those applications, and you can just expose the port and connect with that network. And
Okay.
after connecting the means mentioning the port number and the network name, you can just run that containers
So
because they are
basically,
on the same network.
you're not connecting using IP and port, right? You're just using the port only.
Yeah, we will use only port because if you are providing the IP, then that will be static. There will be means
Yeah,
if anyone will deploy a new commit, okay, then the
yeah,
IP will be changed or port number will be changed. Okay, because every container will have unique IP.
yeah,
Understand?
yeah.
Each time if you will remove a container, again you are deploying a container, then it will have a unique IP, right?
So why don't you use DNS?
For the Docker
Yeah.
means if you are going for releasing side means
Yes.
for the we can say for the production side, then you can use DNS. But for the continuous integration part, which there will be lots of testing will be there. That I have just do some changes in this code. I want to just check whether it is working or not or how it is working. Okay,
It's
for that
basically
I don't think.
internal testing, right?
Right, internal testing. For the
Okay.
Deployment part, production part, you can use DNS.
Yeah, that's mandatory, right? Because of security reasons in production area.
Right.
Okay. Okay, similar to the previous like on-premises experience of mine. So I deployed like that. It's fine, same only. Yeah. Thank you.
Okay. Okay, I have means there is emergency call, so I had to means leave the this call.
So we can
If
take
you are,
tomorrow again, I think.
yeah,
Yeah.
Is there a
also,
time for a last question?
Yes.
Sorry.
yes.
Okay. Quickly wanted to understand. Sorry if it is a little bit off topic. I just wanted to know
Mhm.
how Docker image management is done. Has anyone done it? If yes, what's the best way to do it?
Just repeat the question.
How Docker image management is done? Has anyone done it?
Docker
And if yes, yeah.
image management in which sense? Means you are asking.
Okay, I'll give
There
you a
are means
scenario.
right.
Yeah, I'll give you a scenario. The scenario
Right.
goes like this. Okay, so there's a pipeline. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
which creates which builds the code, creates the
Mm-hmm.
image, and pushes onto some instances, and I mean which deploys the image onto some
Mm-hmm.
containers, few containers.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's well and good. Everything is fine. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
but assume whenever
Mm-hmm.
we talked about base images, right? Like the images, any application will be built on some base images. Assume
Mm-hmm.
it is Ubuntu. Now,
Mm-hmm.
Ubuntu has some security vulnerabilities.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So, coming back to the previous pipeline. So, as and when the developer make
Mm-hmm.
changes or deploys new requirements or new stories, so there will be new versions of the image will be created.
Mm-hmm.
So there will be a one final
Right.
image that will be
Mm-hmm.
always there will be like tens of versions or hundreds of versions for one applications versions of the images,
Right.
right? So now
Right.
in one of the images, right, there will be image scan happening. I'm talking about consider
Mm-hmm.
an Azure platform where the Azure Defender will keep on scanning the images that you have pushed onto the registry. In one of the
Right.
images, it finds that there are security vulnerabilities found on the base images. Okay, and it
Mm-hmm.
asks to fix it. So now the
Mm-hmm.
problem is there's a pipeline which deploys the code
Mm-hmm.
on the code changes done. But
Right.
the SRE, the site reliability engineer, doesn't know where's the code, where's the image, and now he has to fix the security issue.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so
So security issue in the base image, right?
in the base image, right?
Okay. So means during writing the Docker file, you can means do the changes. Okay. Means in the Docker file you can mention the base image. In the base image, whatever changes you want during the creating a new image with your jar
Mhm.
file, right? For that
Right.
reason, like you have to you want to just stop something like any application means about the Ubuntu or CentOS OS, then you can
Mhm.
just uh, disable that thing. Okay, just like if you want
Disable
to,
that.
yeah, you can disable means in the Docker file you can disable that thing, which are creating vulnerability. Okay,
No, it's a
you
base
can
image.
remove that as well,
So it's a
right?
base image. You don't have control over it.
You don't yeah you I don't have the control over it, but I can run the command. Okay, means before uploading that image on uh, Docker Hub or your Azure artifact or anything,
Hmm.
you have to build that image first, right?
Right. So you mean to say you at
You
least
can
the
you
Docker.
run yeah you can run any command in Docker file that will
Mhm.
create an impact on your base image.
Okay, so so now I understand the approach.
Mhm.
So the approach is at least you need to have access to the code, at least, and also the Docker file. which is used to
Yeah,
create the image, and you have to
yeah. If
if you have to
Mhm.
automate it, fix the issue and automate it, then better to have a separate pipeline to do all these things, right?
Right. If you are
Not
means for you are facing the issue only for specific pipeline, then you can just go to the repository section. There will be a Docker file. You can just edit that Docker file and fix that issue. Means you can run any command which can fix that issue. Okay. After fixing that issue, you can means commit it. The pipeline will automatically run, and the image will be deployed.
got it. So just a dumb question on this. Assume
Mhm.
so this is actually being faced, okay, though it is dumb. There's no info on the repository, there's no info on the Docker file. Is there any way to fix it?
Sorry, again.
Uh, the question is there is no info on the repository through which repository the image has been built. There is no information. And second, also there is no information on the Docker file as well, because if you get the reports on the security scan, right, it will just mention the image name. It will not say from
Mhm.
through which code or through which repository or through which pipeline it has been built.
Means understand that means you will receive the trigger from the Azure or any cloud
Yeah, Azure
platform you are
Defender.
using.
Defender works on, yeah,
Immediate, yeah, you
yeah,
immediately receive the impact, right? That
right,
this there is a security vulnerability. Okay, so
right.
immediately you can check your uh, CI/CD part. The last means which was the last pipeline run.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. After that,
Mm-hmm.
you can find easily because there are means some pipelines means there are two or three pipelines maximum which can run parallelly. Okay. Most of the day, there will be only two or three. I have seen.
No, I'm
Okay.
talking at the end. And yeah, we can discuss on this. It's a good start that we discuss, but we can
Mhm.
discuss in a separate form because it goes on. Because the problem here is it's at the enterprise level, and at
Mhm.
least few hundreds of pipelines run every minute, and
Mhm.
there are hundreds of repositories,
Mhm.
different, and at least like 50 odd projects,
Means
and
for that Santosh, I think for that means once you are receiving a security vulnerability, there will be a reference will be always mentioned that
the
you have
reference is
received the
only on the container registry, just the image,
okay,
just the
that's the
image.
email, right?
It will
Just
just
the
say that
image
image
name.
has a problem. It doesn't say the from which pipeline this image has been created, through which Docker file,
No,
where
no,
is
no.
the repository.
Do you have the image name?
Yeah,
Means you will have the image name, right?
right.
Okay. For the next, let me come to the point. If you have the image name, then you
Hmm.
can just check your deployment server where your Docker container are running. Okay, in which you can find match that image name with that container because every
So,
container sure will
mhm.
have unique name. For that, you can just find out in your pipeline that which container you have means given that name.
See, everything is automated, right? Like even the image names are auto-generated. Everything is done using code, and
Mhm.
you don't know where this image is getting deployed. Either it is in a VM, or it is in some Azure functions, or is it some web app, or
Means
some
if
place
just
you don't even know.
Yes,
That's a different problem.
means I think it's no, it will not be because every DevOps engineer should know where the images are, means where are the containers are deployed. If because
Yeah,
if there is
I
any issue
understand.
in
I
the
understand.
container,
Yeah, I
it
understand. I
means if you
understand.
don't know anything, it means you don't have the access on the deployment part, you don't have the access on the CI/CD part, you don't have the access on the means you have no information about the vulnerabilities, then there is no solution, right? Because if you don't know anything, then how could you solve the problem? At least
Yeah,
you have the means access
I'm
on these servers.
yeah, I understand because this is seems practical because I manage a DevOps platform, and I've seen
Mm-hmm.
these things because when at a enterprise level, even you might be aware, right? There will be like multi vendors working on multiple projects, and
Right.
every and every vendor will be having their own DevOps team, and they will be deploying the creating the pipelines and deploying whatnot,
Mm-hmm.
any applications or all the solutions. But
Mm-hmm.
as a whole, at the organization level, there will be one team who will be managing the whole platform, and they'll be not worried about all these vendors what they are doing and the repos and all those. They'll just creating the policies and all those things. But when it comes to at the security level, right, the DevOps
Mm-hmm.
engineers are least worried about these things because they just create
Yeah, yeah, I can
one
understand that.
project.
Means you are
Yeah,
just uh, asking about, means you are managing multiple vendors, and you
yeah,
are
there are
just like
multiple.
monitoring them and creating security policies and all the things. Once
Right.
you are facing the security vulnerability issue, then you have to check means from which vendor and from which team the
Yeah.
issue has been created, right?
Yes, that's the problem. That's the problem.
Yeah.
So I understand if there is no info, you cannot do anything. But
Mm-hmm.
just wanted to throw this question, and
Mm-hmm.
also it will also help people that there can be these kind of scenarios to be prepared of. It's
Mm-hmm.
not like it's a major challenge, but there are people, at least like me, who deal these kind of situations day to day basis,
So,
and it will
what
be,
means how you find the solution?
okay, that's a different thing. It's under discussion. Only thing is, first of all, we are trying to find the people throwing this question like where is the pipeline and all those things. But the solution here is we are what we are doing is what exactly the proposed solution is. It's not at worked or not at created. It is been under discussion, and the solution is don't worry about what the image or who has developed it and all those things. If there is any problem with any image with respect to security, okay, create a pipeline where I was talking about image management pipeline. Okay, just throw the source image. You just know the source image. Okay, source image into it, input the source image. Okay, use the source image and fix the issues. Okay, and you and there will be a separate testing team from the security people from the security team who will be testing if the issues have been fixed, and throw and push it back to the same registry with the new versions. Okay, and inform all the ADM teams, like application development teams from all the vendors, saying that there was an issue with this image, and it has been fixed, and it has been tested with respect to security. We don't know about the application, and and here's the new version. Now use it, test it, and deploy back into production. That's your worry. That's it. It's a vague solution, but when there is no information, you can't help much. But at least you are fixing some issues, and once they confirm back saying that at least okay, this is my
Means
image, and
we can do some temporary solutions, not the permanent solution, right?
the permanent solution is it's there. Once they come back saying that now we are using this is ours, and now we are using this latest image, so we will just discard or
Yeah.
delete the old image.
Yeah, yeah, that's why that one means I was saying, means we can just make a policy that if any pipeline or any image coming with this base image,
Mhm.
discard that. After that, the vendor or the deployment team, whoever
Mhm.
means uh, deploy this thing, will
Mhm.
receive a notification that your image has been discarded, and they will approach you. Okay.
Santosh, why can't we ask all the vendors that run this security check at their end before deploying the image at the server or pushing the
Okay.
image in a repository?
Okay. See that the problem here is. anytime they deploy, right, there'll be a image scan happens. So once they deploy it, and once it is pushed into production, so right, like security issues will be coming up now and then. So assume like if there's 15
Yeah.
days or 1 month later, okay, the maybe someone from the base image say that, okay, whatever image that was created with this version had issue, and we have fixed it, and we have created a new version. Okay, and they update the database, and that is used to scan the images later on, maybe like post 1 month. And now that scanner, like Azure Defender for an instance, finds out that, okay, this version was used to create this image, and someone has notified that this image version has issue now. It was not there before. It's like a OS update, right? But that's why people keep on OS updating. You don't know when the issues comes, and you have to keep on updating them.
Mhm.
Okay, it's not like a one-time job. It's always there.
Yes, sir, permanent.
Yeah,
Yes, sir, means you have to regularly do these things.
yeah, yeah. It keeps on coming. You cannot say that I've used one base image with the latest version. That latest version vanishes in like maybe like in next 1 week. There'll be a new version which is latest, and whatever you were using, that's no more the latest. And
Right.
why that latest comes, because it had some issues, and it had some improvements.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. But we can always ask our vendor to do this on a regular basis at their end
No,
with the
no,
images.
that's something at the organization level. Usually, people do it. The reason being, assume, right, like a developer and or a DevOps engineer cannot keep on patching the servers. It's like something related to a SRE, not not exactly in the area of developers or the infra engineers or the DevOps guys.
Okay.
For the DevOps engineer is out of scope because even if I'm telling about me, I don't know which base image has the issue. It
Right,
will be found by the means Azure Defender.
right.
Okay, so if I'm the only one, then means I can fix it. But if we are multiples, means 10 or 20 means teams, then you cannot identify which person is using this base image.
Yeah. And just to complicate the things, right, like at the enterprise level, it be for any requirement related to a development, deployment, or a DevOps, there'll be a team setup, agile team setup for maybe for 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, max 6 weeks, 8 weeks. Then they get dissolved. Okay, no one will be there to take care of it. So there'll be one team at the organization level who will be always there to take care of it. Few people. So even if you ask, there'll be like many people, either they have left the company, left the team, they don't even remember what they had done. And obviously,
Okay.
you also know that documentation is also a challenge. So there's no documentation anywhere.
This is the
Yeah.
biggest challenge in
Yes.
SRE.
Yes. Because you will be having a hard timelines. They are just want to make the solution work. They're least bothered about the documentation. Even if there is a documentation, there's like outdated one. And
Exactly.
these are kind of a problems or challenges, like where you are trying to solve a problem where you don't know exactly where the problem is, but still you have to find a solution. That something makes your brain scratch.
Mm,
Yeah.
yeah.
Good problem. Good brainstorming
Yes.
we have.
Yep.
Mm,
Okay, guys, thank you. Thanks
yes.
for your time.
Yes. Yes.
Okay,
Santosh.
Yeah. Thank you, everyone.
okay, Ram, bye. Bye,
Yeah.
Santosh.
Bye. Bye, everyone. Tomorrow, same time, we will join. Okay.
Bye all. Yep.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.